So I was looking over the latest ecosystem numbers from June 2026, and the math on this is just completely wild. We have almost 2,000 certified CMMC professionals, 1,964 to be exact, and only about, what, 200 assessments actually happening per month? The math just doesn't compute.
Yeah, it's a massive mismatch. If you look at the actual data, we've got 107 authorized C3PAOs, but the actual assessment volume has been hovering, around 279 for June, and before that it was under 200 for months. So you've got this massive army of CCPs and CCAs, over 1,000 CCAs now, and they're all basically fighting over a handful of active engagements.
Exactly, Paul. And from a regulatory and process standpoint, this creates a classic pipeline bottleneck. The system is designed to scale to thousands of assessments, but right now, the throughput is it's a trickle. Junior assessors are coming out of training, they've got their credentials, and they're immediately hitting a brick wall because nobody wants to hire a lead assessor who hasn't actually, led an assessment.
Right. It's that classic catch-22, isn't it? You can't get hired without experience, but you can't get experience without getting hired. It's incredibly frustrating for people entering the field.
It is, but the mistake people make is thinking that the only way to build experience is by sitting in the lead chair on a formal level 2 assessment. It's not realistic right now. You have to look at adjacent ways to build that muscle. You can't just wait for the perfect paid slot to open up when there are only 200 of them a month across the entire country.
And those 200 assessments are being hoarded by the established players who already have the relationships. So if you're a junior CCA, you have to find other ways to demonstrate that you understand the underlying criteria. You have to show you can interpret the assessment guides, like NIST SP 800-171 in a real-world scenario without actually being the one signing off on the final certification.
So how do you actually do that? If you're stuck in this bottleneck, what's the move? Is it just about waiting for the market to magically speed up? Or is there a way to force the issue?
You don't wait. You build credibility through exposure, not just hours on a formal clock. For example, look at tool development. There are tons of compliance tools, templates, and spreadsheets being built right now. If you can help build or even peer review those tools, you are forcing yourself to understand how the controls map to actual evidence. That's real, practical training.
That's a very smart angle, Paul. Another one is participating in the education space. We have 51 authorized training providers, but they're all transitioning under the new APMG and ISACA frameworks. Getting involved in creating training materials or even hosting webinars where you dissect specific controls. That shows the ecosystem you actually know your stuff. It builds a public track record.
So basically, instead of trying to get the job, you show you can do the job by teaching it or building the tools for it? It's like writing the playbook instead of waiting to get drafted.
Exactly. It's about showing, not telling. Even something like doing a free or very low-cost gap analysis for a local small business. Now, you have to be careful here. You can't pretend you're doing a formal, certified C3 PAO assessment if you're not authorized. But being transparent and saying, hey, I'm building my hours, let me help you prep for free. That gets you real-world reps with messy, imperfect environments.
Though there is a tension there, right? If everyone starts offering free assessments, you risk, devaluing the work of the authorized C3 PAOs. But as long as you're clear that it's a readiness review, not a formal certification, it's a viable way to get those repetitions. In the regulatory world, we see this all the time. Pro bono work is how junior attorneys get their teeth into real cases.
I remember when I first started out in media, I did so much free editing just to have a portfolio that didn't look like a school project. It's the same thing here. You need those messy, real-world edge cases to show you can handle the complexity when a paying client actually does come along.
Precisely. You don't learn how to handle a complex scope from a textbook. You learn it when a small manufacturer tells you they have a legacy CNC machine running Windows XP and they want to know if it's in scope. That's where the real expertise is built.
Well, that seems like the real takeaway here. Don't wait for the 200 assessments to trickle down to you. Build the muscle where you can right now. Thanks for the insights, guys. Good chatting, and we'll talk soon.